Come on in, everyone. Come on in. Hello, everyone. Come right on in. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Come on in. I just wanted to come live, and we are covering the Carmelo Anthony trial. A verdict has been reached. Even though they went into deliberation only at 10 o'clock this morning, a verdict has been reached. As you know, I am in Texas, so I thought it important for us to be able to share and talk about this as the verdict comes down. They're going over the jury right now, asking them if they're all confirmed what they have decided. Now, as you know, in April of last year, this happened at Frisco High School. A young man was poked at a game by another person. And they went to trial. The trial didn't last very long. The prosecution called like 21 witnesses, and the defense also called witnesses. Some of the things that were sticking points on each issue, y'all leave a chat. Let me know if you know about this story. Have you been watching this? It's important to me because I live right down the street from Frisco. So I've been involved a lot. Well, not involved, but I've watched a lot about what's going on. And for a verdict to be reached so quickly, you all, they only went into deliberation at 10 o'clock this morning. So for a verdict to be reached so quickly, I don't think that bears well, because there was a lot of evidence that was brought forth that during that day it was raining. He said that he was invited. A young man said he didn't know him, but then the defense proved that he did know the young man. So did he invite Anthony into the tent with them? Were they all hanging out, him and the boy hanging out, and then something popped off? During the trial, again, they called 21 witnesses on the prosecution side, and they called about 10 or 11 on the defensive side. The defense rested. Karmelo did not take the stand. Now, at this point, they are still raising money, y'all. So they have money out there that they're raising for this. This has been a really sad case. And I wanted to go live. I don't normally go live. I usually do recordings, but I thought this was so big, y'all, because Dallas is on edge right now. Let me tell you, they said at the station there at the where the court is, that there's over 100 people that have already gathered around. There's already been some heated confrontations between people who are there in the courtroom. I mean, outside the courtroom. So people are arguing back and forth. The police have put barriers up so that way no one can just drive through and ram through the barrier. So this is what's happening on the ground. Now, Texas is known for our racial things that's going on here, right? And like I told you, I grew up, y'all listen to my last video. I really covered a lot in this story about the Carmelo Anthony case, but I live in that area. I grew up in that area. And so a little bit about that area. So you have a majority is white people, but you also have a lot of other people. So you have this is a rich area, y'all. Let me be very clear, very affluent. Houses start around $700,000 in this area. So ain't nobody broke over there. So it's around $700,000 starting. Well, y'all, listen, you have mostly Africans, you have Chinese people, and you have Middle Eastern people who live over there. So you got doctors, lawyers, judges, business owners. So it's very, very affluent in that area. So they said that the jury didn't have any black people, but they had other races of people. And this is why they're saying that. I'm trying to give y'all some inside skinny as to what's going on in our area and why they say what they say. So there we go there. So it's very diverse, but it's not diverse with a lot of, FBAs. So that's what we're looking at over there. So if you're a black person, you're living over there and you're an FBA or ADOS, that means, Foundational Black American, then it's because you're doing your thing. You're a teacher, or, author, all kinds of things. So this is who lives over there. Most rich black people in Dallas, however, choose to live in the Southwest. So most of them live like in Duncanville, DeSoto, Mansfield, Lake Ridge, so the the peninsula. So that's where the black people in Dallas who are FBAs live. But so that's the kind of the picture of Dallas, right? So where he was going to school in that area over there, I have to be honest, they black people have been over there for a while. So, pitchforks going down the street and white sheets, that's not happening a lot in Frisco. I have to be very honest with you. But the law, let me tell you something. The law don't play with nobody, especially those of different hues. Okay. So give you an example of that. I have a friend, NFL player, wife. They had a friend and a son got involved with this girl. He was 18, she was 15. Well, the dad found out, got upset, and called the police. The boy is doing 20 years in prison for sleeping with this 15-year-old girl who was his girlfriend. He had just turned 18 and they went to school together. So that kind of gives you a picture of what we're facing there in Frisco. Now let's look at some of the case. So what happened is they were at a track meet in April of last year. It began to rain. Evidently, Anthony knew someone under that tent. That was proven, y'all, in this case. So I heard a lot of talk about, oh, he just showed up and he wasn't supposed to be there. And well, listen, somebody, he knew somebody and it was raining. So he figured, well, let me run in here. I think I know this guy. Let me run in here and let me, talk to him while it's raining. Well, what ended up happening was, according to testimony during the trial, it stopped raining. Or it just kind of started sprinkling. And they told him to please leave the place. Well, I'm not going to even say please leave. They said leave. And he said he wasn't going to leave. So things got heated. They said they asked him to leave 15 times. Wasn't there? I'm just telling you what the testimony is. And Anthony refused to leave. He used some expletives according to the testimony. Again, I'm just telling you what they testified to and kind of giving you a little insight on what's going on here in Texas right now as the verdict come down. If you're just joining us, thank you all for taking some time. I won't be before you long. We've been waiting for the verdict. The jury went in at 10 o'clock this morning for deliberation, and they have reached a verdict. I do want to also include this. During the deliberation, right before the jury went in, the judge did qualify some things. So he did say that the jury could consider manslaughter in this case. Now, what's the difference between murder and manslaughter? About a whole lifetime. A whole lifetime, really, for this young man who made this decision. So what that means is not only can they deliberate on murder, if he went in there and he did it purposely, as according to testimony, or was it a heat of the moment situation and he acted out and he did this? And so now that would be manslaughter. You all tell me down below. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's right to include this manslaughter verdict instead of straight murder? What do you think? I think as the defense watched the case unfold, y'all, let me tell you, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was bad for Karmelo. Everybody who went up there said that he provoked the fight, that he cussed the boy out. Now, y'all, people came out and said all kinds of things. That's why I was very silent on this case up until the verdict. I knew I wanted to go live when the verdict went because so many of my subscribers, hi Roilers, hi subscribers, hi members, really found interest in this case. And around that discussion we were having is here you have all these black affluent boys, the one from Fulio's trial. He just got life. And he came from a mother and father home. Same with Karmelo. I just told you, Frisco is a very affluent area. There is there are no broke people, and if they are, they secret broke there in Frisco. So you have a mom-dad situation going on there. I also left you Sykes's video down below in my last video about his son hurting him, raised with a mother and father. So here you have kids who are raised with mothers and fathers, and they are struggling and committing crimes that, used to be, well, he must have been from a single mother family, or he must have done it. They're happening in our communities. And I want to know, y'all put it down below. What are some of your suggestions? Why do you think some of this is happening? Is it the music? Let me say something. The music has always been around, though. I mean, I can remember back in the day, NWA saying F the police. I can remember Fight the Power and really radical music. But I think the difference is, y'all tell me down below. Talk to me. I want to know what you all think about this case. I think the music has changed from when it used to be, they said fight the power. Now it's fight each other. And I think when we turn that violence in on each other, we shouldn't be violent at all. Let me be very clear. This is a horrible story. This is terrible. And I have grandsons. I have nothing but grandsons. And that's why I wanted to do a story on them, because they go to track meets all the time. Do you know how to respond? Do you have to be a man all the time in those situations and take it into your own hands? And so I felt like that's the way he felt. Like, you're not gonna punk me. You're not gonna tell me where I can stand and where I cannot stand. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and this is what it is, and here it is. However, I do believe that the judge and so they had this meeting right before yesterday. Excuse me, it was Saturday, I do believe. No, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday they had a meeting, and it lasted for quite a while. So everybody was wondering, why are they having this meeting? What's going on with this? I do believe it's because the defense saw what a uphill climb they really had. They had an uphill climb, guys. I just told you, 21 witnesses all came out and said Karmelo started it. He did not take the stand in his own defense. And even some of his defense people who were standing for him, as defensive people, I was just looking to see if they said anything yet. Even the defensive people, they even said that Karmelo started. So he was facing an uphill battle. I feel, y'all tell me what you think down below. This represents, hello, thank you all. Thank you for y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. By the way, y'all subscribe. Let's talk about it. Y'all listen, if we can't be safe with each other, where are we gonna be safe to talk about this? We have to get down to why this is happening in our community. I know stuff happening in the other communities. That's fine. Let them deal with that. What we dealing with. Let's talk about what we're doing. So I want to thank you at PIKKOLO, Brahmo. This represents the evolution of the mass consciousness the music represents, where we are thinking, wise, and the careless understanding that thoughts are creative energy and bring results, good or bad. Okay, very good. So she's saying the energy of the music is actually, in there. So the energy is there. Hi K at K Washington 7284. Hi K, waiting on the verdict. Me too. We're waiting on that verdict, but I wanted to have some discussion. I wanted to give you some background. What is happening? Again, remember you all, when he went in, we know that it was murder at the beginning. Hi there. Hi Kay. Hi. We know that when we first went in, it was first just murder all that was going to be the verdict. But now they're also looking at manslaughter. But let me also say, they could have found him not guilty. So that is the third choice. So that jury could have went in there and in less than 3 hours determined that he did something that he had to do, and he is not guilty. How many of y'all down below think it's going to be a not guilty verdict? In fact, tell me what you think it's going to be. I think it's going to lean to manslaughter, y'all. I mean, that's just my opinion on just watching, talking to my lawyers friends, and being in this area. I'm thinking it's going to be manslaughter. Now, I may be wrong. Why do I think it's going to be manslaughter? Because they proved during the case that he did indeed know someone under that tent. Now, how he explains the pokey thing, and I don't know if they're going to be able to pass that off. He did. I hate to say it. He will be found guilty. Okay, someone thinks he's going to be found guilty. Hello, Antonio Anderson. Thank you so much. I hope he found innocent on all counts. Okay, so you think he's going to get found innocent on all counts. People have different opinions, and that's what we're all about. We have to open up. We have to talk to each other. We cannot talk and grow as a community and always say, oh, you a coon, and I'm mad at this. Y'all, if we can't talk for real, then we're not even talking. We lose it at this point anyway. They're talking about voting rights and all of this. So what I'm saying to you is, let's look at this case, and let's look down at this case. See what's going on here. From Portugal, I pray he's not guilty verdict. Okay, Portugal, attorney, to me, the defense attorney didn't try to. Okay, Kay Washington again. And Samantha, oh, she's from Portugal. Hello, Portugal. Hi, Kay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Samantha. Yes, thank you so much, Samantha. Listen, I felt the same way. When they went in and did the defensive case, that some said he was jumped. 4 people jumped, and y'all listen. When they showed the video, They did not show four people jumping Karmelo. And I do believe that's what waters down our discussion. When we can't be truthful about what happened. This is what I think would happen. He saw his homeboy. He went up under there and he saw him. Now he had this weapon in his backpack. Now I've given you a little bit of the overlay of what Dallas is and what in particular Frisco is. Antonio Anderson, I'm going to read his real quick. Look, sister, they have been killing our people for years without facing justice. Okay, this brother feels they've been killing our people for years and without facing justice. So even if it was purposeful, then he should still be found not guilty. Okay, so that's Mr. Antonio Anderson's view on that. So let me tell you, I was just kind of giving you an overlay of what Dallas is like. So in North Dallas, there is a lot of white people. Okay, y'all. Here we go. The jury just walked in, y'all. They getting ready to walk in. But just to kind of give you an overview of Texas and what it looks like, and especially there in North Dallas, we have a community that includes a lot of different races of people, right? You have Africans there, you have Indians there, you have Chinese people there, but the majority is white people. Black people are only 12% of Frisco. So that lets you know there's not going to be a whole lot of those people that was going to be on the jury. Well, this is what they said when they asked the jurors, this is why they're saying black jurors were not on the jury. When they asked black jurors, could they find him guilty? They said no. Most of all three of them, in some form or fashion, said no, they could not find him guilty. So that's why black people did not end up on the jury, but they said there were other races of people. So I already told you what those other races were. So the defense, I did not think that the defense did a good job. If they said the boy was being bullied, and I told you that four boy thing was a lie, so that wasn't a bullying. But if he felt intimidated in that situation, can you imagine going to school every day and you're the only black kid? Or maybe y'all listen, I grew up in Richest, and we had maybe, there were black people, they were all well-to-do, but it wasn't very many of us. But I will say that I didn't really face a lot of racism. I was a cheerleader. I was president of the speech club. I was, I was a lot of stuff. And so it wasn't a lot of racism. But I do find these younger people tend to be a little bit more aggressive in the racism area than maybe even their parent, who came through the boomer generation. What do you all think? Do y'all think they're a little meaner nowadays? Okay, manslaughter would be best because I don't believe intentional. This was some teenager being hot-headed, and they were both wrong. That said, Pretty Brown 171, thank you so much for giving your input. That's where I lay. That's where I'm at right there. He went in there. He saw his homeboy. Homeboy said the boy didn't invite him in, but he saw him and it was raining. So he went in there. Once he got in there, he was surrounded by 4, 5, 6, boys. You're the only one in there. And they telling you to leave. You're not welcome. Get out. And we're not talking about a 35-year-old man who's been through the fire. We're not talking about a man who is a father and has several children. He's going to respond out of fear in that moment. It's wrong to take a life. He took a life and it was wrong what he did. But what I'm saying is, did he go in there to do that? I don't know. Look, sister. Okay. Hopefully he'll appeal. They'll find him guilty on something. We have to stop being so honest. Okay. Karmelo was picked up and slammed by heard like a linebacker. That did not come in during the case. So if that happened, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but he did not testify to that, and that did not come out during the case. He feared for his life. Maybe we don't know. JJ Mars 9160 facing east. Hey. Thank you all. Keep the comments coming, y'all. The jury is in. I went live because the verdict is in. The jury went in about 10 o'clock this morning to deliberate. It's been about 3 hours. We've been waiting about 20 or 30 minutes outside of the courthouse. There was about 100 people. Earlier this morning, there was a lot of Flack, flack going back and forth, a lot of clickety clack going back and forth, and more police started showing up. So, police started showing up. They put barriers up, so things have calmed down. So now people are just kind of standing out in front of the courtroom waiting for the verdict. I'm going to read a few more of your comments. Love Moves 3312. Wow. Yeah, wow. Pretty Brown Girl. Why did they call a child psychologist to the stand? See, again, we're talking about the defense of the case. Is it that they went to child psychologists who look at his situation? Y'all, what did I just say? We have at least 3 cases in the last about 6 months of affluent young black men who come from homes with fathers, with money, with a support system, everything we say that you're supposed to have in order not to make these mistakes. He had all that. And they raised like $600,000 or $700,000 for his defense. Now, what they did with the money was a lot of rigmarole going on about that here in the city of Dallas as well. See, the national news tell you one thing, but we live here. We know what's going on in the city. What did they do with the money? So maybe that explains some of the defense that didn't go on. Flip the Script said, Austin told him to leave. He was the only one that pressed it. Okay, now during the case, Flip the Script, I'm just trying to share with you what came out during the case. Many of the young boys said they asked him to leave, and he cussed them out. That's what he said. Now, y'all, if you've ever been to a football game, we go to football games over here, Cedar Hill, Duncanville, DeSoto, all these games, right? Nothing but us, right? Urban children there, and you can get it. You can get it. I'm telling you right now, you can get it. So I can only imagine what was going on under that tent, y'all. Come on now. All right. Why haven't we seen the video? The whole trial has been an undercover, facing east. As a DTX native, I knew the legal system would work against this young man. Yes, it's more racism today because white America is feeling insecure about the man-made social construct. Okay. All right. Ellen Haben, Black Fatigue. All right. Isn't that what Chris Rock said? Swanor, it passed. Facing 796. When I say heard, it was reported. I saw it on news report yesterday. It was told by a witness. This was said in an interview with an Indian woman and white man. The Indian woman called out what was said. CP says, praying for mercy. He was a young man who was provoked, dealing with prejudice and racism. Antonio, but they can't find the Asian man in this. Ooh, y'all, we haven't talked about this. Y'all, let me tell you something. That Asian story and the young black man. Okay, let me tell you something. Oh, my. I cannot believe 12 people looked at that case and found that man not guilty. Even if the boy was running, they said he had a pistol pointing at the man's son, and that's why he pulled the trigger. I wasn't there. I don't know. Somebody said, Helen Holmes said, bye-bye, Mello. Helen Holmes also says, rest in peace. So, and they took his life, and they found him not guilty. That's what's scary. They didn't even give him a manslaughter option. He was guilty at least of manslaughter. When is it against the law to run? This man chased him I think they said 2 blocks. That wasn't that old man chasing him. It wasn't that old man chasing him. That old man took. Okay, y'all, this is just my opinion. I'm on the outside looking in, just kind of observing. I'm just kind of putting things together. I just think that the son chased him down, and the father took the case, took the charge, because he knew he wasn't going to go to jail as long. That's what I think he probably thought he was going to be found guilty. So that's what my thought is. But that's just my opinion on that. The fact is, he didn't steal anything. Why was they chasing him? Why were they doing that? It's just terrible. And then for our black kids, also, y'all, I'm a mother. I'm a mother for all of my kids are grown. In fact, my son is the chief of the fire department. So he sees this every day on a daily basis when he going out with the paramedics and things like that. Y'all, our black kids, we got to talk to them. We've got to talk to them. We've got to let them know that right now, this is not the time to be going in stores, to be packing, because in Texas, everybody packing. Lady T got her little pink thing. You know what I'm saying? So everybody packs in Texas. This didn't happen in Texas, but what I'm saying is that unless they tell you you cannot have that weapon on that premises, everybody in Texas packs. So that is very scary. No, the jury has not announced yet. They are in the room. 50 or more black towns have been destroyed. Oscarville, absolutely. We talked about that. Of course, though, those are in the past, but Karmelo's family hired the wrong defense attorney. That was a grave mistake. Listen, defense attorneys make all the difference. Either you're going to win or you're going to lose. Hiring a white attorney was a horrible mistake. Everybody pack in Texas. I know, flip the script and please do not. I live in Texas and I don't want my city torn up. Thank you very much. I do not want my city, y'all, because this is just one of millions of cases that are going on. And we keep talking about, thank you so much, Love Moves. Your blouse is beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, listen, y'all. I know we're talking about this case, but I do think we also need to talk about what's going on in the black community. Why are our kids responding like this? Why are our kids being violent? I'm not talking about what these other children are doing. I'm talking about our kid. What an end of the kid. Like my son is a very kind of laid back dude. Now he is huge. He's like 6'4", 270 pounds, big dude. But he walks away. So what in us that won't let us walk away? What do you all think about that? Tell me down below. Why can't we walk away? I think it's because he's probably been dealing with that a lot, right? Keep in mind, FBA fam, things are going to get worse. Buckle up. No, they're not. Y'all, I'm very much a person who speaks positive. I grew up in Texas. I'm telling you, I grew up right down the street. Stuff like this have been happening for years. So, and we have not torn up Texas. In fact, people are steady moving to Texas because we live so nice in Texas. Shout out to anybody from Texas and from all the other states. Y'all, thank you all for watching. I know we're waiting on the verdict right now. We've gone over the case a little bit, kind of what was going in and what would happen there. Some people feel like he's going to get found guilty. Some people feel like he's going to get found guilty of manslaughter. And some people feel like he's not guilty. Okay. Difference. Okay, y'all. The difference between manslaughter and murder. The manslaughter sentence will be 5 to 20 years. If he gets found guilty of murder, that will be up to a life sentence. So that's the difference between the manslaughter and murder, y'all. That's just in case you want to know about that. CP said it doesn't matter when you are provoked in dealing with racism. Okay, now I have dealt with racism, y'all. It's about a choice, y'all. Nobody gonna provoke me unless they put their hands on me and have a weapon coming for me. And that's the only option that I have. Now, in his mind, maybe these 5 or 6 other boys standing in there saying, you need to leave was a weapon to him. Maybe in his mind, that was a weapon. But I'm trying to tell you, nobody can make you do anything. We must be strong-minded. We must not let other people determine our actions. We must come together. And that's another thing. Within our black race, y'all know we're not together. You have one group over here and one group over here. We need to speak the same language. So that's another problem with us, y'all. So I really, really hope that comes together, you all. They have announced the verdict, y'all. He has been found guilty of murder, you all. He has been found guilty. So that's what I was waiting on. That's what I was had the live for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. J Morrow 9160. Y'all, he has been found guilty. So I am so sorry, for those who wanted him to be innocent. I know that this is terrible. Okay, the name is Witness says Karmelo Anthony never stood up while being bullied and assaulted by Austin Metcalf interview. Okay, so you said the witness came. So why didn't he come and testify that in court? Why didn't they? If he saw him getting beat up and getting done that way, why didn't he come to court? Some people feel, J. Marfield, more OJ backlash, feeling like you have to prove your point, which in today's time means his world to the younger which means the world to the younger generation. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all, let me tell you, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I do feel kids feel like they gotta, if you do something to them, they've got to say something to them. Stay out of these dangerous places. I stay out of these dangerous streets too. Pray Psalms 1, Isaiah 54 and 17. Thank you so much, Trendina Brown. Excuse me, Trendina Brown. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, y'all, you got to stay out these streets. Y'all teach your kids. You've got to give them skills that when they get to that situation, that they know how to handle it. Just had some earthquakes too. Yes, drill. If you're wondering why some earthquakes going on, drill, baby, drill. Themselves is violence. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, what about George Zimmerman and Kyla Rittenhouse? They killed people and got off. Exactly. I listen. I'm with you there. I agree. I agree. Had he been in Dallas County, I promise you, he would have been found not guilty because it's 85 or 95% black. He was in Collin County, So it's a difference, y'all. It's a difference. When we allow the media to paint us as nothing but robbers, stealers, murderers, when we allow the media to paint that picture of us, when we're not that, we're mothers, we're fathers, we're hardworking people. When you paint a picture like that, then when people go in there, those stereotypes are playing in their mind. And that's what's unfortunate. That is what is unfortunate. Did those people have biases walking in? Because not all of them were white. Again, some were Chinese, some were Middle Eastern. They were not all the same race. But at the same time, did they have biases based on what they see in the media? So I do believe the media is derelict in defining who we are. They are always quick to put some old mess up on the TV. But do you know we are making and breaking boundaries every single day? But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about what, and half the time they're talking about people who don't even look like us. These people are so far removed. Cardi B representing the black community? Come on now, y'all. So what can we do as a community? Y'all tell me, what can we do as a community to take that conversation back? Come on, y'all. Tell me, what can we do? What do y'all think? Ballet dancer, thank you for going live, my sister. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to bring the verdict. I wanted to have a little conversation. Everyone is showing their true colors. Okay. That said Trinita Brown, everybody's showing their true colors. I don't think it's been hidden. Y'all, I grew up in Dallas. It ain't never been no secret. There's never been no secret about how people feel about each other. But we were able to coexist, get rich, and live and create our own communities of where we needed to be. So right now where we are is an ugly place, y'all. And I can tell you right now, y'all, okay, let's be real honest, y'all. Right now, tell me down below how many thugs y'all really know personally, ready to get out in them streets and fight. Really ready to get out in them streets and fight. Them kids in Frisco, they go to private school. These kids over here in Duncanville and DeSoto, they don't know how to fight. They pretend they do. They act like they do, but when it really go down, they look just like that boy from Julio Coolio who was going to jail for life and he was crying. They're not ready for that life. They're not ready for that life. Now, I know some who ready for that life, and they different. They look different, they act different, and they will hurt you. See, Karmelo didn't look that way to me. You know, looking, somebody who really, yeah. You black folks are the most racist folks. You think? Or do you think they have been the most judged throughout? And that is a shield to keep themselves safe until you're able to get through that shield and we figure out that you really are a good person. If you've never been on the other end of that type of thing, then you don't have a place of reference for it, right? So you may feel like, they are that way, but it's a reason. So yeah, no, yeah, we are. Some people are. I'm not. I have all races of people who are in my family. My daughter is married to a Latino guy. So, I don't hate nobody. I'm not going to hell for nobody. I don't hate no. Hear me what I say, and you better hear me clear right now. I don't hate no one. I love God, and I'm trying to go to heaven. And so I don't care if you pink, purple, or green. If you treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. But if you want to go there, then we can handle that as well. So that's just kind of the way I feel about it. Again, I grew up with nothing but white people. We had a few, and let me tell you, I'm a dark-skinned black woman who grew up in that situation. And so I had to learn how to move in and out of that. And so just know, I've been there, y'all. I've been there. I know what that's like for somebody to walk in a room and I'm trying to speak to them and they not say nothing back to me. Get that. You're going to get that same energy back. Same time, two white women gave me the biggest opportunities I've ever had in my career. So why can't I walk around the world hating everybody? I can't do it, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't join the hate train, but I can join the responsibility train. I can join you all. If somebody's wrong, let's talk about that. If somebody's right, let's talk about that. But I'm not going to hate anybody. I'm not going to hell, y'all. I'm not going to do it. Black folks got to learn how to play the game. Got up there, selected for the jury, and told y'all the LV glam girl, talk to me. That's what I feel. Oh my goodness, I am LMMA's $5. Oh, thank you. Guard your energy, everyone. Respectful, please. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that love offering. Now, y'all know I'm a church lady, love offering. Thank you so much. Get your Wi-Fi fixed. Okay. Thank you so much, son of Peter. Get your Wi-Fi fixed. Working on it. Thank you so much. I am Maze. Agreed. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Pablo, for tuning in. You all listen. I just wanted to come by really quick, let you all know about what's going on with the Karmelo Anthony place. Stay out of dangerous places, as Trinita Brown says. 2B 206. This is all for race baiting. They are trying to get God's permission to start something big. This is why this is such big news. Now the grifters, Dominique Alexander, can move on. Ooh, Pablo Sanchez to their next. Y'all, I don't even know how Dominique. I can't believe Karmelo Anthony family let him speak for them. His name is so bad in the city, you all. I cannot believe they let him speak for him. But I don't speak for nobody. They do what they want to. But you see, the boy was found guilty. So, okay. So, y'all, I just want to come by. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Just wanted to let you know the verdict was in. It is guilty. Y'all, let's keep on talking about it. Put your comments down below. To be said, they want black people angry and hateful. They need our energy to get anything in the world popping. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Don't let us be the crash out dummies. Y'all, don't let us be the crash out dummies. Karmelo Anthony's family were morons. You know, that's your opinion there. Guitars and beers. You sound like a fun person, though. Okay. I did feel Karmelo Anthony's family made some bad decisions. That beginning with choosing Dominique Alexander. Then number two, doing that press release. Doing that press conference. Then number three, getting a GoFundMe and then moving where people knew where they moved. It was a lot of mistakes. And the fatal mistake they made was number four, the defense attorney they hired. So all around, y'all, yeah, mistakes were made. The family did not make good decisions. So they found him guilty. Thank you all for tuning in for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. Now listen, you all, click down below, leave your comments. Lady T is going to have a video up today. I think you're going to enjoy. Just admit you thought he was innocent for the sole reason that he was black. He was looking for trouble and murdered another. You all, again, Pablo, again, I want to tell you all, this was not a race thing for me. I grew up, I have all kind of people in my family. Right is wrong, right is right, and wrong is wrong. I was trying to give you both sides, what the defense said, what the prosecution said, and now we know that he's been found guilty. It is never right in any circumstances, if you're green, purple, yellow, or blue, to take anyone's life, period, and point blank. And it's never good to hate anyone. So that is my take on it. I have never hurt nobody, and I don't want nobody to hurt me or mine. And I know you don't want nobody to hurt you or yours. I pray safety over each and every one of you. Thank you all, everyone, for joining in. Pray for both sides of the family. This is a very hurtful thing. And y'all pray for Dallas. Pray for Dallas. We don't want no mess here, y'all. Y'all don't want to bring it to Texas. You understand? I just told you, everybody, even the little kids, know how to fight. I don't want that in our city. So thank you all, and goodbye.